Folks, this is Vicki from patternprincess.com. Today I want to quickly show you how to do this lovely beginner triangle shawl pattern. This is made from the double crochet in the middle here. This is a single crochet that creates this. It's actually double crochet, single crochet, double crochet. But this is a very lovely shawl. It has a lovely drape. It's actually made from a very thin yarn. It's actually more of a four pieces of, I would almost say like embroidery floss, but it's probably, you know, and I didn't look at the skein to see how many yards, but I think it's probably over 500 yards of material here. And so what we do is we start off in the middle and we can just continue to add rows and it becomes a triangle shape. This here changes color all on its own and it's just very beautiful. It has a lovely drape because of the nice thinness of the yarn. It has a lovely drape over the neck, but it's a very, very easy pattern to do. Once you get started, it just continues, the rows continue to repeat, and it has a nice straight edge here where sometimes the patterns don't always have a nice straight edge when you're working your rows. But again, just a lovely color change. That's this one. And you can use this, I would recommend using this with any of the shawl, like maybe a Lion Brand shawl in a ball. This one here is the same pattern. This is a Lion Brand shawl in a ball. It's one of those that change colors. This is like a darker green, lighter green, and then I'm going to be getting into browns here, and then maybe a little bit of off-white, then it goes to a darker green and a dark brown in the middle. So I think this is going to be very pretty. Most of the shawls in the, I think I'm saying this right, shawl in a ball, have about 400, I think I've seen it with like 488 or 512 yards to it. So they just lend themselves very well to doing these crochet patterns for these shawls. And this is so easy. Once you get started, you actually start here, and then this is your first row, second, third. So you can see here I think I have about 13 rows done. Very easy to achieve. For this other one that I showed you here, this is the same pattern. I may end up a little bit different size again, just because based on, you know, the thread, the thinness of the thread that you're using. This one here I did with, because it was very easy to see my crochet holes that I need to get into, I used an H, a 5.00 millimeter crochet hook to do this. This next one that I'm working on, the shawl and the ball, I'm actually using a little bit larger hook size, a J, because I have done these shawl and a ball shawls before, different styles. Sometimes it's hard to see your stitches when you're working in the shawl and the ball. So as you can see, it's a little bit hard sometimes. So I used a bigger, and I'm pulling this apart. I'll show you how it is. I used a bigger hook so that I can see the stitches better. So like I'm going to do a double crochet right into this next stitch. Well, it's very easy to see now. So if I used a smaller hook size, sometimes that pulls too tight and you can't see it. Here's the next one. I need to do another double crochet. And so it works really nice to help me with this pattern. So I'm really glad that I went with a little bit bigger hook size. And I guess we'll see what the pattern turns out like, how big it all turns out. And as you can see, this triangle shape is just taking shape very nicely. And I think that this is going to also have a very nice drape to it. My viewers in the past, and I thank you, have told me when I do a pattern that maybe uses this thin yarn to use regular yarn because it's too hard to see the stitches. And so I appreciate your feedback that you give me because it helps me do my videos better for you. I continue to learn, and I think I'm getting a little bit better as I go along. So I'm going to start off with my slip knot. I always just stick my 2 fingers in, put them around, stick my hook through, and then I just pull one of the loops through, and I have my slip knot, which is going, I can snug it up a little bit there. Okay, so the very first thing that we're going to do is a chain 4. So yarn over, bring your yarn through, yarn over, next one, yarn over, number 3, and then yarn over. We've done our 4 chains. Next, we're going to go back to that first chain and we're going to slip stitch in there. So that means you just put our hook in, bring the yarn through, and bring the yarn through again. And this tail I'm going to move to the side here to get it out of our way so you can see. So then we're going to do chain 3. So yarn over, bring it through, 1, yarn over, 2, yarn over, 3. Then we're going to do inside of that circle, which is a little bit harder to see, but it's right there. The circle's right there. There, that helps me push it apart for you. See that? We're going to do 3 double crochet. So we had the yarn over, and then we put our hook through there, yarned over again, and we're going to bring it through 2 loops, yarn over through 2 loops, yarn over again, go back through that circle, grab the yarn, and go through 2 loops and through 2 more loops. Then we're going to yarn over, go back through the circle, bring our yarn over, go through 2 loops, yarn over through 2 loops. Then we're going to chain 1. Some patterns call for chain 2 that I've seen like this, but I like the chain 1 because I like a little bit smaller hole in the middle, but you could do a chain 2 there if you chose. But I like, with the pattern that I'm doing, I did a chain 1. So we're going to go right back into that circle, and we're going to do 3 double crochet again. So yarn over, go through 2 loops, yarn over, go into the circle, yarn over, go through 2 loops, yarn over 2 loops, yarn over, go back into the circle, yarn over, 2 loops, 2 loops. So now we have a chain 3, 1, 2, 3 double crochet, chain 1, and then 3 double crochet. Now we are going to turn it. And so we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then back in that same stitch. The pattern that I'm doing right now, this row 2, is the exact same pattern that you will do every single row for however long and however wide the triangle goes and however much yarn you have. So we're going to yarn over, and we're going to do 3 double crochet right there. So yarn over, bring it through 2, bring it through 2. Yarn over again, go back into the same stitch, and then yarn over through 2 loops, yarn over through 2. Yarn over, go back into that same stitch, and then come through 2 loops and 2 loops. So we have completed our chain 3 and our 3 double crochet in that same stitch. Now we're going to do a double crochet in each of the next stitches until we get up to the chain 1 space. So in other words, we're going to do a double crochet here and top of the 1 double crochet, and a double crochet here. Now we're up to the chain 1 space. So I'm going to yarn over, I'm going to do a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet in this space. So here we go. Double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet. And then continue on and do a double crochet in each stitch until you get to the last stitch. And we're almost to the last stitch, and in this case the last stitch is actually the top chain of the first starting chain 3. So yarn over, and then in that stitch, which I have kind of tight right now, we're going to do 3 double crochet. So here's 1, 2, 3. Now it's time to turn, and I'm going to get just a smidge bit more yarn here, and I'm going to show you the next row. So you make sure that you got it, but then this is all that there is to it. You can see it's starting to take that triangle shape. See that? Just like, well, let me show you on this pink one here. See how when I first started off, how I have this triangle shape? So let me actually flip this over. This is bigger. But this here is the same kind of triangle shape. And then we continue on. Or this is another great example. Here's that triangle shape. And we're going to continue to get bigger and wider on the edge. So does that make sense? Hopefully it does. For the longest time, I couldn't figure out the triangle shawls and figure out how to make those happen. It was very confusing to me how to flip it and add on. So That's why I wanted to make sure that you understood what I was doing here and how that actually took shape. So, all right, so the next row is the same as that second row that we just did. So now we're going to start the third row, and it's going to be chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Yarn over, and in that same stitch, do 3 double crochet. So here we go, 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to do a double crochet in each stitch. Double crochet, and one more. As you can see, these actually, especially in the small, in the rows where we don't have quite so much, it really, you're turning it quickly. But then after a while, you really, the rows get longer because the shawl gets bigger. So we've reached that chain 1 space. Now again, we do a double crochet in that space, chain 1, and a double crochet in that space. Then continue on with your double crochet in each stitch. Oops, I did not pull enough yarn. We'll get a little bit more off here. Hopefully this will be enough. There we go. And then we're almost to the last stitch. And again, that last stitch is at top of that first chain 3. And then in that stitch, we're going to do 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3. So now we have just done our third row. And we're just, and this will keep growing and keep growing. And this, well, this is kind of chunky right now, but I think that this just drapes so lovely with those thin yarns. So anyways, I hope that you have enjoyed this really quick tutorial. I hope that this inspires you to make your own shawl as well, and they'd be wonderful to give. They work up very quickly and very easy. They're wonderful to wear, to give, and just enjoy. And enjoy the love of crocheting and making something. So I hope that you're staying healthy and well, and have a lovely day, and thank you for watching. And remember to like, share, and subscribe, and you'll be updated on any crochet patterns that I put on the YouTube. And then also don't forget, I do have the patterns on patternprincess.com. You can always come and see the written patterns in full as well. And I try to remember to put the links in the comment section. I'm trying to get better at getting all the information that you folks need in there as well. But if you have any questions, please let me know. And then I also love to see your work. So thank you for those that are sharing some of your work with me. I just love to see it. Thank you again. Take care. Bye.